Hikari, I was not familiar with your game, but you've earned my respect. I've watched a lot of movies this year, but Rental Family might be the one that feels the most true. It's the most beautifully human film that I've seen in quite a long time. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, my name is Troy. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to review Rental Family from Searchlight Pictures, directed by again Hikari, starring Brendan Fraser, who continues his comeback tour in this film. And again, I'm just blown away by how human and relatable this film really is. This immediately stands out for me for its emotional honesty and how deeply it understands people and their needs. I think it's a movie that really is going to linger long after the credits hit because it's so tender, thoughtful, and incredibly moving. The real theme of this movie is the emotional needs that we have as people. The film centers around Brendan Fraser's character Philip, who is a struggling actor living alone in Japan. He doesn't have any family. Both of his parents have passed away, and he's struggling to make it when he gets in touch with this rental family service, a service that provides people to meet the emotional needs for individuals who need something taken care of, whether that is an apology or standing in for a wedding or a funeral or whatever it may be. They hire these people to kind of be there to be the emotional needs of the client that they're serving. And we see many examples of this play out. We see Brendan Fraser even just play video games with somebody, hang out, be a friend, that sort of thing. But things become more complicated when he steps into the role of an absent father, and they want me to make sure that the daughter believes that he really is her dad, and that you can really see the complicated way that's going to play out. And it's uncomfortable, but it's also important, I think, as the audience to see and understand that, hey, we have these big emotional needs, and the ways that we can go about trying to fill them just doesn't always work. I really think the film offers a creative and compelling look at that emotional void that people can carry. It shows how individuals try to fill these needs in unconventional ways when really we're just longing for connection. And this film really lands because of Brendan Fraser's performance. Again, he was spectacular in The Whale a couple years ago that really led to this comeback tour, and it continues is he's just so good, and I think really complicates the best actor race even further because I swear every film that comes out, this category gets even more stacked. And he really inserts himself into that conversation of being worthy of the award again because of how good he is. You really feel the loneliness, the sadness that he has being alone, and you really feel the complicated feelings that he has of stepping into these roles and kind of figuring out what's real and what's not. You really feel that and the tension that he has wrestling with those experiences. And I really think that's one of this movie's strongest themes is Brendan Fraser's character Philip, his struggle to separate the emotional labor of the job from genuine human connection. I mean, slight spoilers here, but as an actor, he gets an offer for a role that he's been pursuing for a long time, but denies it because of this connection that he's building with this daughter that he's supposed to be the dad of. And you can see him also build that connection with the former actor Akira Emoto's character, and building that friendship, and struggling to separate the work from the genuine connection that he desires. And I just really appreciated that. It becomes really emotional as you see him develop real connection with these people and kind of learn along the way that, hey, what we're doing isn't right. It's not really right to be stepping into these people's lives in this way just to immediately step out. But that's all they know is how to address those issues, how to address those needs. And so they kind of just go along with it. And I really do need to give a shout out to Akira Emoto. His performance, honestly, is a standout for me and left me breathless. His presence, his emotional depth, and vulnerability are genuinely breathtaking. I'm not even kidding. Every scene that he's in elevates this narrative. And I think it's one of those performances that you think about long after. I mean, again, towards the end of the movie, when he goes back to his home and digs up those belongings, my goodness, right? That was incredibly emotional, and because of his performance, I was blown away by that. I was not familiar with this actor, but throw him in the supporting actor category nomination because he was absolutely phenomenal. But I just love the ultimate meaning and theme of this movie, the responsibility that we have to show up for each other in real life, right? One of the questions that really nailed it for me that is asked by one of the coworkers of Philip is if you had to hire somebody to fill a role in your life, who would it be? And my goodness, did that hit me with a ton of bricks because I think people think about that. We think about the loneliness, we think about the things that we're struggling with, and we think, man, if we just had somebody to step in and fill that role, maybe things would be better. When in reality, they're not, right? We see that in this movie that it just really is a band aid that once it's ripped off, you're still feeling those things and you're still calling this service over and over again to fill those needs. And I just really appreciated the commentary of that. And it's just really important that, hey, to really meet the needs, to really have the capacity to meet other people, we need to meet them where they're at. And it's just a really important message for this film. Ultimately, Rental Family, it's not just a story. I think it's really a mirror to the emotional landscape that we all try to navigate. A reminder that human connection is messy, complicated, but really deeply needed. And this film really succeeds. Again, this is one of the most beautifully human movies that I've seen in such a long time, and honestly one of my favorites of this year. It's definitely on my top 10 list. It's definitely a film that I want to see again when it's released on digital and streaming because man, and the ending of this movie too just is so good, and the realization that Brendan Fraser has. I don't want to get too much into that because I don't want to spoil a lot of the movie, but it's definitely worth seeing. I cannot recommend this movie enough. If you saw Rental Family this weekend, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what resonated with you. What did you think of the messaging? What did you think of the performances? Let me know your thoughts. Also, share what is one of the more human films that you've seen of late. I'd be curious to know that as well too. But if you like this video, guys, leave a like, subscribe to see more film reviews in the future. Thanks for tuning in.